Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Wild Hearts Wednesday video. And to kick off 2025 and the Wild Hearts game in general, I have with me Randy from the development team. Randy, I know you've been on the channel before, but if you want to give a brief introduction of who you are and what you do, that would be great.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm Randy. I'm one of the devs on the Wildheart team. I'm the brand manager, and I speak for the dev team.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure to have you as always. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me. And wanted to kick things off by talking about Wild Hearts in 2025 and want to cover kind of some like short-term goals, some short-term things that people can look forward to in terms of Wild Hearts. And then we can kind of dive into more long-term and over the course of the year and maybe beyond after that. But the very first thing that people can look forward to this year is the Foundation's Kickstarter, which is actually launching January 7th. So that's like right after the new year. It's going to be kind of kicking off. And can you dive a little bit deeper into that for people who don't know what that Foundation's Kickstarter is?
Yeah, for sure. So the Foundation's Kickstarter coming up here is going to be the launch of our lore book and starter deck. You're going to be able to get a lot of unique things to just that Kickstarter in it. We want to like really reward backers or people who join us like right on the foundation of us kind of getting out there. So there's going to be some like exclusive alt art booster, like 3 card boosters that are going to have alt art from everything in the starter set, plus the stuff you've been following. What we're doing, we've been releasing um, cards that are not in the starter set into our Tabletopia mod so far. So any of those cards from that pool are also part of this like alternate art booster that you could pull, and those will never be released again. There's going to be an alternate art playmat. And then if you are an early bird, if you back within the first 48 hours of the Kickstarter, you will get a mystery familiar of one of the 4 styles. And that's a familiar that hasn't been revealed to the community at all yet. It'll be completely brand new to whoever gets one of these. So that'll be pretty fun. I'm excited to see people's reactions to getting one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely very excited to open that myself and see what I get. And see other people like who might be content creators or even if they're just posting in the Discord like, here's what I opened, and just to kind of see and check them out and kind of everybody get that surprised and get to start revealing familiars as a community, I think will be really fun too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that'll be so fun. It'll add like an element of just like excitement.
Hmm. So there's going to be multiple tiers to the Kickstarter, and you guys did do kind of a, um, what did you call it?
Town hall.
Town hall, yes, to talk about the Kickstarter with people who attended. Can you share any information about the multiple tiers and kind of what people can expect from that as well?
Yeah, so tier 1 is going to have access to the 2 player starter deck with the Foundation Edition, and it's going to have 4 starter deck familiar promos that are unique to that. It's going to be the 4 starter deck familiars and an alternate art that will never be released again. And then will give you access to the stretch goals. And there won't be a early bird tier for just the first tier, but then every tier after that will have an early bird package, other than the last tier because you can't do early birds for limited quantity tiers. Then the second tier is going to give you everything that was in tier 1, and then it's also going to give you our Guide to Tetram hardcover lore book. It's going to have access to that early bird. If you're within the early bird time frame, it'll have access to that mystery familiar promo. It'll give you a Foundation Edition alternate art pack, and there'll be a coloring book. Tier 3 is going to have everything that the first 2 tiers had, plus it is going to give you a 2-player playmat. It's going to give you access to the making of Wildhearts, which is like a kind of behind the scenes with the dev. We're going to go through and let you see like what we have kind of coming up and the making of like kind of what we have, and it'll be like a pretty cool sneak peek. And then you're going to get a box of alt art boosters as well. And then in tier 4, you're going to get everything that was before. And then in addition to that, there's going to be, it's going to kind of double up. You're going to get two-player starter sets for the Foundation Edition. You're going to get 2 hardcover lore books. You're going to get 2 playmats. You're going to get an invite to our VIP event that we have coming up after the Kickstarter. And then you'll get like an uncut sheet. And you'll get 2 boxes of the alt art boosters. And then the last tier is everything that was before, except since it's a limited tier, you're going to get 3 of the mystery familiars, and you will get your likeness in the game as one of our judges. And those are limited to 8.
Wow. That's some pretty exciting stuff, though. I think the kind of idea behind this being that you kind of are getting a lot of this product as kind of 2-player kind of starter stuff, and being able to have those starter decks so that you and a friend or you and a family member can play the game together, kind of get to learn the game before it's released. But one thing that I definitely want to mention to this wider audience that I know you guys brought up in the town hall was kind of the actual physical product, like release schedule or turnaround, after the Kickstarter ends, which this is not going to be a Kickstarter where you have to wait 6 months or a year or however long to get your stuff from the Kickstarter. It'll actually be, again, kicking off January 7th is when the Kickstarter begins. And sometime in March is when you guys are expecting everybody to actually have their product, right? So there's a
Yes.
pretty fast turnaround and very exciting. Something that I know myself and other people are looking forward to having that product as quickly as possible. So very excited for that.
Yes. Yeah, we are, for a number of reasons, we want to get the physical product into backers' hands as soon as possible. We want to see what you guys do with it. We want to be able to have webcam tournaments. We want to have everyone have all their product before we obviously launch our full set 1. So it'll be definitely everything has that is in this Kickstarter, any add-ons or stretch goals will have those launch dates in mind and those backer dates in mind. I also want to say that in this Kickstarter that's coming up, this Foundation Edition, you'll be able to get the Tamer Challenge as well for Valentina. That'll be a add-on.
Awesome.
So that's one of the things too, is like these tiers are kind of like designed at various price points, and then you can like add on your way to pretty much whatever it is that you want. So
And for those not familiar, the Tamer Challenge is kind of a like a single player solo mode version of the game, right? That you can kind of play by yourself.
yes, it can also be added as another player as well. So if you wanted to do like 1v1 and then add like the 1v1v1 and just add Valentina, you can do that as well, because she can be added into the multiplayer rules very easily. So it makes doing like a battle royale a little bit easier if, say, you only have 3 people and you want to add the 4th.
Yeah, very dynamic and really awesome, kind of different thing that you can add on, which I'm looking forward to because I live in a place that's a bit smaller. So for me, finding those groups of people or having like even a third or fourth person isn't always accessible. And even if I just want to play it by myself, just to practice some decks that I have put together or anything like that, then that's also an option. So I think it's really cool and really versatile, different thing that you guys have with that Tamer Challenge. So definitely looking forward to that and seeing how people kind of utilize the Tamer Challenge decks.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, we kind of had it set up as like a way to kind of bridge that gap between that, and also like if you don't have the ability to play with your friends very often because life gets busy, you don't want to have a deck that you just made and what weren't able to test work terribly during your limited playtime with them. That's never fun. So
All right. Well, let's move on a little bit outside of the Kickstarter. I guess kind of one of the next things that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit was the VIP event that you mentioned. I know that we probably don't have all of the details on that, but I was wondering if you could just kind of speak to that a little bit. What is it? When can people at least like roughly expect that, or what can people expect to see out of that?
Realistically, what the VIP event is going to be, it'll depend on funding, but it is going to be probably in February. We are going to get these VIPs together. They're going to be able to sit down and play with the devs. They're going to see stuff we have coming up for like set two and later this year. And they're going to be able to play like draft with us and really get to do some games. And they're going to get a really good roadmap from what we have planned coming out. They're going to get sent home with some product and they're just going to have a really good time.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds very exciting. It'll be a really good way to I guess get the product into some people's hands and get to showcase it and have people like try out different formats and get a chance to actually meet and talk to the devs in person, which is very exciting. So definitely, if you are somebody who wants to take that chance, jump into a game and actually get to like meet the dev team, talk to them about the game, try it out, and do all sorts of fun and exciting stuff. Definitely, if you can, then back at that tier to get you into that VIP event. Definitely going to be looking at that myself. So very excited for that. And I definitely want to talk now about kind of the rest of the year beyond this Kickstarter and kind of this early, probably like first quarter of the year, because there was something very exciting there that you said, and you said we get to talk about set two that might be coming later this year. Did I hear that correct? What does the rest of 2025 look like in terms of Wild Hearts and kind of the roadmap that you guys are looking at?
Yeah, so while 2025 is going to be an amazing year for Wildhearts, we are going to have obviously there's going to be the foundation Kickstarter, and then we're going to have set one that's going to launch like April-ish, and then tentatively planned we are going to have set two hopefully before the end of 2025 that'll release, and there might even be a board game in between set one and set two as well. So for those of you that just really want to dive into the world of Wild Hearts and just play it in any way, not just in a TCG, there could be a board game on the horizon as well.
That's super exciting, and that's a lot of stuff to happen in the first year for an indie card game. So very exciting. Uh, is the is the I guess schedule the release schedule a kind of tentative thing at this point, or do you guys have any plans on like setting specific like release cycles for each set?
So 2025 would be different from the norm for how we will be good doing things going forward. So in 2026, if everything goes as planned in 2025, we will be launching a set in quarter two and quarter four, like kind of going forward 26, 27, 28, and then quarter three would be like that territory product, which would be like a board game or like something else that's maybe not directly TCG related, but is part of the world of Wild Hearts.
That's awesome. I think that's very exciting. And lots of products coming, lots of things to look forward to. I love board games. I have like 4 to 8 huge shelves just of board games. So definitely very interested in the whole board game idea as well. But one more question that I have for you is again, a lot of this is kind of, a little bit up in the air based on kind of reception and how many people are getting into it. But I know another thing that you guys have talked about a lot and are working towards is kind of the competitive side of things and looking at kind of turning, the competitive scene into something more. Is there a plan in action for that for 2025? Is that something that we can look forward to seeing throughout 2025?
In physical places, that's still up in the air, but definitely for like webcam tournaments and doing things with our community that way, there'll be definitely be something. I'm putting the groundwork in for a lot of these local game stores, but it's just kind of like when people get them, they basically almost need to tell their community like that they would want these tournaments there because local game stores are I mean, they, for very good reason, only want to promote stuff that they're selling. So it just ends up being a little bit of work to get into those. But yes, it is definitely on the roadmap.
Awesome. Yeah, I think even just getting into like webcam tournaments and just kind of getting the ball rolling with that is definitely something that people are going to be looking forward to.
For sure. Yeah, we are really excited about that as well. And even doing tournaments kind of coming up here, even or tournaments or even just games kind of coming up here with Tabletopia and doing all that. So we have other stuff, events kind of coming down the pipeline as well for people to be excited about.
All right. Is there anything else that you might want to share that people can look forward to, whether it's 2025 or any point sooner or later, just anything specifically that you want people to really be excited for?
Well, I mean, stay tuned for the events we have coming up shortly here in the beginning of January. I mean, we obviously have the Kickstarter coming, but we're going to be doing some community engagement events kind of going along with that Kickstarter, and there'll be more information coming for that soon. And yeah, just stay tuned, and that's all I really got.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for chatting with me, Randy. It was an absolute pleasure. And I know myself and definitely some other people in the community are very excited to see what Wild Hearts has for not only this upcoming Kickstarter, but for the rest of the year as well. So very excited and looking forward to it. Hope that it all goes as well or even better than you all hope it does, because I definitely feel like it deserves it.
Thanks. Yeah, it's always been a pleasure chatting with you as well. So thanks for having me on your show.
And thank all of you for checking this video out. If you want even more Wild Hearts action, you can check out these videos as well. And we'll see you in the next one.
You
Well,
okay?
yeah, I don't know, like the lights are hurting my eyes, making my eyes super watery. Oh, okay. I think I'm good. I can record our little outro. Here we go.
Could save that footage and just like make up something like Dabs removed the foxtail necklace, and then I'm just
Yeah. Uh, you could use it as bait. I was moved to tears during the interview.
there you go. You won't believe what this Deb said.